Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Alpha 3.3.5 is now live. I am Safety Boy. Look at my safety equipment. I've got goggles and a hat. Oh my god, I'm terrifying. Star Citizen Alpha 3.3.5 is now live. Let's go over those patch notes and the teasers that are in Lorville for the IAE, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, or the Anniversary 2948. So what's new with the 3.3.5 live patch then? Well, they've added the planet Hurston. Hurston is the first planetary location we have, and as such is considerably larger than moons and has varied biomes. Additionally, you will find several outposts labelled HMC, Hurston Mining Centres, scattered about the surface. They've added some new moons as well, 4 new moons in fact, Aberdeen, Magda, Ariel and Eta, and populated them with a handful of outposts and a single biome each. However, these biomes do look quite varied now with their new techniques. There is a new major landing zone on Hurston as well. It is Lorville. Lorville is a large city and as such only has one legal area for landing and port entry when it comes to actually landing your ship and having it stored there. However, you can get access by landing outside. There are 6 gates where you can land. Space above residential and commercial areas are protected by a no-fly zone. Players will be warned when they are entering that zone via HUD warnings and visual indicators and increasing audio alerts. There is basically a orange bright shield, which is not subtle at all at the moment, which does break immersion, that will appear when you are too close to the city, effectively showing that if you crash into it, you will die. So, you literally, if you crash into that, your ship will be destroyed. The city has a bar with an interactive bartender and personal equipment shop, Tammy & Sons, that includes an early implementation of the multi-tool. To move around the city, there is a train-style transit system and signs to help guide the way. This city is broken up into 3 major areas. Teaser Starport, where you can spawn your ships in, you can land, you can take off, and you've got the New Deal shop there as well, which is a ship shop, which I'll talk about in a second. From there, you can take a train to the L19 or the Workers District. This is also the Hab Zone. This is where you will respawn when Lorville was your last visited zone, or you die after visiting Lorville, that sort of stuff. So there's a hab block here, there's shops here, there's reclamation missions here, eventually anyway. Clover Star Neely's there, but he's not hooked up properly in this patch. This is also basically at the moment the main hub for the train station, so you'll need to go back to the Workers District at the moment to get from one location to another. If I want to go from the Starport to Gate 6, I'd have to go to the L19, the Metro Centre there in the Workers District, bam, and then go from there to the appropriate train for the gate that I wanted to go to. Everything is clearly labelled. It's basically like a big airport and big train station, so just to look around, everything is colour-coded and labelled. If you want to get to Gate 1, look for a sign that says Gate 1 to 2, and then you can go that way, and then it will split off into Gates 1 and 2, and then you can go from there. And those gates will lead you outside of Lorville. You can spawn vehicles at those gates as well, so you can drive off and look around, explore those new biomes. They've also added 7 new additional rest stops. These can largely be found in asteroid fields in the large space between Crusader and Hurston, with the prefix CRU on the star map. As part of the Hurston update as well, they've added new clothing and armor variants, including variants of the Odyssey 2 flight suit and the Virgil True Death Pro armors. Omni tools, that sort of stuff. Lots of new cool little clothing items. This is all available from the store in the Workers District in Lorville, and you'll be able to see NPCs wearing these new various items around Hurston. As I said earlier as well, New Deal, the new ship shop is at Lorville Spaceport. It currently has a Constellation Phoenix, Hammerhead, M50, Aurora LX, Mustang Beta, and Prospector for sale. Unfortunately, no vehicles, which would have actually been useful. And that Tumbrel Cyclone is actually now purchasable at Teach's Ship Shop. Let's go over some of the other additions to the patch. Players now have expanded interactions with some items, so you can like drink coffee, pick up and drink whiskey at the bar. They've updated some ship and vehicle headlights for better projection. Landing markers on Port Olisar should no longer appear to flicker. Cargo boxes should no longer become stuck to the player's feet and legs. AI at Korea should no longer become unresponsive or locked in a position. Admins should now consistently interact and respond to players. Ships in shops should no longer vibrate or be able to be knocked over. The Cyclone at Teacher's Ship Shop should now be purchasable. Players should no longer be able to turn the headlights on and off or raise landing gear for ship displays at Teacher's Ship Shop and New Deal. Selecting loadout customization from the lobby of StarMarine should now take you to the correct location. Respawn UIs should no longer remain on the screen after a StarMarine match ends. NPCs on missions should now more consistently talk to the players while doing their missions. Round starts should now reset the player to their default weapons in StarMarine. They fixed an issue where the Arena Commander region would default to AUS or be blank after the player exits to menu. Single-click firing should no longer cause some FPS weapons to skip recoil. Reco Batacular missions should now properly award UEC, or Alpha UEC in this case. They fixed an issue where the Mobiglass wouldn't open while in EVA. Quantum travel wingtip trails should now consistently appear on ships. They corrected several ships that had the wrong size quantum drives, including the Cutlass, which now has a size 2 drive, Constellation, which also now has a size 2 drive, and the Caterpillar, which now has a size 3 drive. The appointment mission for Reco Batacular should now have a full mission description. Players should no longer suffocate when reloading into a new instance of Arena Commander. Piloting a quantum travel jump from orbit to a service location should no longer create a redundant destination to orbit as the first point. They fixed an issue where aligning with a quantum destination prior to complete recharge would cause a calibration failure. Fixes for some of the missing ATC audio have been made. They've also fixed 6 client crashes, 2 server crashes, and made a temporary fix to alleviate some of the 15006 errors that people were experiencing. I have not experienced any this patch, which is great. There are still some major known issues with the patch. Players may not automatically be placed into local chat on the visor. VoIP may inconsistently work or not be properly working. Enemy AI ships often appear to not take damage. Players may experience stuttering when initially arriving or spawning at Lorville. Many delivery missions will not update or have their markers spawn in bad locations. A lot of issues I had with the PTU have been fixed, but there are a lot that haven't, and there are some new ones too. Along with VoIP, VoIP is very intermittently working. Only some of the missions are hooked up for Hurston and its game space. Mostly it seems to be delivery missions, and they are mostly having you travel from Crusader to Hurston, back and forth to complete them. So for some players that can't do delivery missions because they're in a starter ship, this is going to cause some issues at the very least. Lorville's performance has improved a lot for me. The worst frame rates you'll experience will be landing and taking off from Lorville's Tisa spaceport, where sort of mine dropped to around 30 FPS when I'm around there. But inside Lorville now, I'm getting 40 to 50 frames over that typically, which is much better than I was previously. NPCs are still derpy. They need a good amount of love. The NPCs that are walking around the city and all that sort of stuff. This is some of the combat NPCs as well on missions. They become a bit unresponsive. They're quite derpy. Sometimes they don't take damage. It is a bit weird. We might get some 3.3.5 X patches, or 3.36 and 3.37 sort of thing. In fact, we're likely to get one this Friday when the anniversary sale goes live, as the Expo is in town. They look to be physicalizing the event in the spaceport at Lorville, Tisa Spaceport. There is an elevator that currently doesn't lead anywhere, but there are loads of signs around it for the IAE, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. So they're all like pointing to this elevator. There's lots of these banners now around. We might see a different manufacturer each day, or they might have some static stands for the event displaying ships in various stages of progress. We saw that there was an Idris hanging around in the PTU, so it's possible that we could see ships that are in their grey box phase or further, all to be displayed, whether they're flyable or not. People are saying we might see the Lightning, stuff like that on the first day. So on the 23rd, it is Anvils specifically, the manufacturer that they're having a free flight for and having ship sales for. So it might be that they only show Anvil ships in this sort of like space, however big it is, on that day, or it might be that they show all of the manufacturers at once. I do not know, but tell me what you think in the comments below. The anniversary sale and free flight starts at 4 p.m. UTC on Friday, the 23rd of November, so expect any updates to coincide with that. There is a few things that 3.3.5 needs in the short term, in my opinion. Local missions on Hurston that don't require moving from Crusader to Hurston and back and forth. I just want to be able to live on Hurston or be able to go from Hurston and its moons, do stuff like that, although their larger scope of the game space and this not actually being that large compared to the Verse when they add more systems, does mean that we will have to do missions that have us moving around the system, for some people anyway. Obviously, you can avoid those missions. There's also no description in the missions of exactly where bits are sometimes. So some missions it does label where you need to take things from and to. Other times it just sort of like suggests, like ECN alerts especially, oh, I need help. But it could be at Levski and you're on Lorville. So, and that's quite a distance. NPC and admins and missions, they need to be more accessible. They need to consistently work and not become unresponsive, as do the combat AI on those missions. More than just delivery missions around Lorville would be nice as well. Better performance at Lorville, especially around the landing and takeoff spaceport area. Vantage rentals needs to come online. This would allow access to ships and vehicles that are more obtainable by players during the quick patch cycles. That said, obviously we've got the free fly coming Friday, so that's less important for like a week when people can have all of these ships for free. They do need to get VoIP and FOIP working consistently. People are expecting FOIP and that VoIP system all to work together now. There still seems to be a memory leak which needs to be addressed, because otherwise after a certain amount of time your system will grind to a halt once it's entirely ran out of RAM. Star Citizen is in alpha, but it does try to market these releases as some form of playable product. There is a lot here with 3.3.5 they've added, and it's pretty cool. And I suppose it doesn't disrupt the live build too much by adding this, as most of the problems are around the Hurston area. But there's obviously some problems that they've added which are annoying, that will prevent players accessing certain gameplay. Players' access to ships may really cause some issues with this patch as well. Again, after the free flight mostly, because if you can't do a delivery mission because you're in a starter ship like a Mustang or an Aurora, then what are you going to do around the Hurston area? You can explore, you can have a look around, that's true, and there's a lot of cool stuff to look around and mess around with, and you could work with other players and that sort of stuff, and there is other stuff to do, but at the moment with this patch, it is very delivery mission centric. So hopefully they'll get a couple more fixes in for Friday. But what do you think with 3.3.5 going live? Good idea? Bad idea? Tell me in the comments below. If you don't have Star Citizen yet, be sure to create an account with the links below to receive 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, as a bonus, and to participate in any free flight. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, I am giving away a Saber Raven, Star Citizen game package, and a CitizenCon 2948 digital goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details below. If you would like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and donations are down in the description below as well. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.